Hello again, Glitch Reaper here again, and we're on to another part of the introduction to the Titans. This is again the Mod Authors Hangout with Enderman of Doom. So,
Yep.
hello, Enderman of Doom. Would you like to introduce yourself back on? And I just got a Skype message because I'm on Skype with him.
Yeah. It probably wasn't for me.
No, it was somebody else going online. I cleared it.
Ah, good. Well, anyways, last time we were covering all the items and the ores and you covered them all, and now we're covering a more in-depth part. Not the Titans just yet. Those guys will receive their own parts, but we're covering the turrets and the enchantments that are added by the Titans mod.
Okay, and there's.
So let's first start with the enchantments. Let's first start with the enchantments
Okay,
and
so you
show
want to go
you.
over to the enchantment
So
section first, right?
yes, let's do the enchantments because they coincide with the turrets and they're a little easier to show.
Okay,
So
okay.
give us the first one.
Okay, the first one here is uppercut.
Think of the Hercules beetle. That's what this does. Only you apply it to an item and you become the Hercules beetle, sort of.
Yeah.
You hit things that get knocked high. It's basically knock up.
Yeah.
Like it knocked back, but it's up.
For those not familiar with
And
that,
it's got two
there's
levels.
either, like, if you see the Hercules beetle in the mod ore spawn, which is pretty easy to find somebody having a series with, it likes to spin around like a helicopter. It has this long horn, or a long set of horns protruding from its head, so you can imagine this long beetle that actually looks like a Hercules beetle from real life, might I add. And it's like spinning around, and it likes to smack you up into the air like 20 blocks. It really likes to fling you. If you're familiar with Gravitite from the Ether, whenever you hit something with a Gravitite sword, it also sends it flying. So think of that as an enchantment form. Whenever you have any weapon that has this on it, it flings things straight up. So it takes extra fall damage.
Yeah, and it has two levels.
Yes.
It has two levels as well.
And the thing about creative is
It's
it
really
always
hilarious
gives the
to
highest level,
use.
so I know which their highest level is, so this says uppercut too.
It's really hilarious to use on mobs, especially mobs who don't take fall damage, because then you can hit them over again,
Yeah, you can
or
juggle.
hit them in the air and then they get knocked even higher. You can juggle them. It's really fun.
Want me to demonstrate on a mob? Because I can just grab one out and watch it
Use
fly.
a.
I got a plus. I
Why
got an
don't
emerald
why
sword. I can
why
do.
don't you why don't you use a zombie pigman?
Oh yeah, they're very good for this sort of thing because they got a decent amount of health. But they won't after this because I am curious just how far they fly. So I'm gonna anvil this.
And build the emerald sword in your inventory. And give it up to and see what it does to the poor pigman you're about to knock into the sky.
Hey, Mr. Zombie Pigman, you wanna fly? Oh yeah, he flew. Again, why he's not dropping nuggets is I have mob loot off. So, in case you're wondering why he flew and he didn't drop anything, it's because I did that. So, he went airborne and he just died.
This, of course, would deal subsequent fall damage to any creature that does take it.
And the zombie pigman, of course, isn't really immune to fall damage. They just like falling in lava a lot. So, basically, I, in essence, one-hit him because the fall damage was enough to finish him off. So I did 10 points initial, and he took at least that much on the way down. So this is a very painful enchantment to use on your enemies. So many crunched legs. Grasshoppers would very much relate. Oh well. But it happens.
So that is uppercut. It has the exact same requirements. Enchantability requirements as knockback, so you need to be enchanting your weapon with levels 15 enchantments or higher for one, and level 20 for level 2.
Okay, nice to know the exact enchantment profile, so you know what levels you're looking for when you're going for it.
It's exactly the same as knockback, but it can be stacked with knockback for the ultimate knocker.
Yeah, you throw them in a ballistic arc that eventually lands in their death some distance away. So, follow my cursor on the screen and observe what would probably happen if I hit a mob from that angle. Yeah, that's probably what would happen. So I'm imagining that right now. That's probably would be their complaint on their death. Okay, so next enchantment is Titan Slaying.
It's pretty self-explanatory. This one is extremely easy to obtain. You could even put it on a wooden sword. You get it.
Yeah.
On really low enchantments, on really low enchantments. There's 10 levels of it,
Which
which
is
is
more
why
than
there's a
any
big X.
vanilla limit on levels. I think the normal vanilla. I'm sorry. The normal limit on anything to naturally have, if you're not using like special MBT data, is usually about 5. Like, oh, say Smite 5 on a sword or something like that. But this goes all the way up to 10 levels, so nice bypass, by the way. So
This does.
yeah, I wonder
This
what
does,
level would
and
you
this
have to be to
weapon.
get that naturally, or would you have to just keep building up after a while?
Level 10 could be achieved by getting the super rare level 35 enchantment on
So
the enchantment table.
basically, you'd have to have a golden sword.
Yeah, or you could just enchant a Arcadium sword or Absent sword a few times.
Yeah, they're
You
particularly
could get it on those
enchantable,
ones
so
too.
yeah, okay. So
They're
that would
extreme.
work.
No, they're not just particular. They're extremely enchantable. They're better than gold.
Okay, so they
They
are one
absorb
of the most
enchantments. They absorb
Okay, go on.
Absence and Arcadium stuff. Absorbs enchantments like a sponge.
Okay, so it is way better than gold. Okay. And as he said, this
So
can be placed on anything, so I'm just buffing the same
it
sword
can
over and over.
it can also be combined. It can also be combined with bonus damage dealing enchantments such as Sharpness, Smite, or Bane of Arthropods. And it's self-explanatory. It works on all giant creatures, things that are 6 blocks or above, and it adds 10 extra damage to the weapon per level. This will not work. This enchantment will not work if the weapon does more damage than the level of Titan Slaying. So it's useless on a weapon that does over 100 damage if it's even if it's level 10.
Unless, of course, it's one of your swords already, in which case they do stack. But normal weapons, if they're already really high, it just says, nah, ignore that.
Yeah, because Minecraft's weird physics prevent you from doing armor-piercing damage less than a high amount that you've already tried dealing.
Yeah, it is weird that way, but hey,
this,
we're dealing with some
but
interesting
this enchantment,
job issues.
But this enchantment will do bonus damage to all giant creatures, not just Titans. So this could be put on a hoe, and you could use it to kill Godzilla.
Can you do that on a hoe in survival?
In creative mode, of course. You
Yeah,
have to do it in creative mode.
So you can have that as
on
like a special
sword.
reward or something, I guess. Here, have a Titan
Yeah,
slaying
it's not
hoe.
too difficult. It's not too difficult to get Titan slaying.
Yeah.
It's actually, in fact, sometimes mobs can be just found randomly spawning with Titan slaying 4 or 5 on their weapons.
Okay, so I wind up going around and there's a zombie walking around with an enchanted sword. I get it and I find out it has Titan slaying 3 on it, and I'm going, oh, that would be useful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is Titan slaying. Is a very self-explanatory one. Only swords and axes. And now onto the next enchantment.
Now this one's a bit different because this can also be used as a upgrade for something we're going to be explaining later, and that would be the turret system.
Okay.
So you can already mention what it's going to do when we get to that part.
So, but first we are covering what they do to weaponry.
Mm-hmm.
We will cover what they do to turrets once we cover turrets.
Yes.
But list the first one.
This is Shuriken.
That you are hovering. So Shuriken on a weapon, when you hit something, you'll get haste, and also the weapon just deals an abstract extra 1.25 damage.
Yeah.
And it only has a single level.
And the abstraction
it has
does
the
what exactly? How do you call it?
It just adds 1.25 damage. Because it just adds 1.25 damage to the weapon. You know, kind of like an extra level of sharpness.
Okay, so it just gives that little extra punch on a weapon.
Yeah. And one level, it has the same enchantability as Infinity, I believe.
So it takes some decent leverage to get it, but again, it winds up giving you a bonus.
Yes, but it has a but it's better for but it is better used for turrets.
Yeah, and that we'll be getting to a bit later as to what these things do. So we'll kind
So
of go around here and get back to turrets. Now the next
so the
one
next one.
is Unstability, and this is better on a
Now
bow.
this one
so
is
I'll
a fun
enchant it
one.
up.
This one is fun. This one is fun. It's once again still better put on a turret because of its upgrade feature for turrets. But building it on a sword or a bow is really fun because it causes them to, when you hit an entity, it produces an explosion at their feet, and it starting at a explosion radius of 1, and then adds 0.75 radius per level for a total of 2.25.
So for demonstration purposes, I think I'm again going to use one of my favorite targets, zombie pigmen. So I'm just gonna make a crowd here, and then we'll see just how fast they die. Oh, one came in with an enchanted sword. This might wind up being... Oh yeah, that's right, I have mob loot off, so we won't be able to demonstrate it being possibly a random titan slaying. But that's probably a good thing because there's gonna be like a lot of items one way or the other. So...
Start shooting at them with them explosive arrows.
Well, right now they're just flying because of the uppercut. So I'm gonna have to apparently those two together have an interesting result that we weren't expecting. I really thought that would explode and send them flying, but no. Okay, I'll just use the arrow then. Hey, you. Sorry to hit you in the back. Well, not really. Hey, Naughty Pigment, if you're not looking, guess what's happening? Do you hear those random explosions?
You're getting shot in the back.
They also fly upwards when you hit them with this, by the way, so the bow does not need uppercut, and I don't think it receives it, right? This is...
I haven't tested the bow with uppercut.
Well, they are flying upwards, but I just have the
It does...
explosive arrows on them.
Of course.
Do you want me to try
Of course,
with uppercut on a bow?
Yeah. Why don't you give it a shot?
That is very literal, and I kind of like that, so yeah, it totally works. Okay, so I'm going to give myself a separate bow and enchant that with uppercut.
Putting uppercut on it definitely will make it so that when you melee hit them, they get sent flying into the air. But I haven't tested whether or not this works with the arrows.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to test in a moment here, because I have uppercut, extra book, and I have just another generic bow, so we will be able to see whether or not that works. Now, you said that works usually in melee, so assuming I've got this on a bow, and again, I just did this creatively, so maybe we'll figure out whether or not we want that on survival. They still fly whenever you hit them in melee, and die with one hit, despite the fact that initially only dealt 1 point of damage. Okay, let's see what happens with the arrow. Oh, I'm firing at a baby pigman. This is going to be a slightly trickier shot. Oh, he still flies! And dies.
Wait, what?
It actually works! Oh.
Uppercut on a bow works.
It works!
That's funny. Just shoot them for a distance. Watch as they go rocking through the sky like a little fire rocket.
Okay, I need some target practice here, so I'm just gonna do this a few more times because I know for sure this is the one with uppercut. Yeah, it is. Because I just sent them flying in melee. So I'm just making myself a little shooting gallery with pigmen here, and they will just go soaring. So yeah, this is really fun. This is like, how did you time that arrow bouncing off of you, sir? You should be flying. This is the Gentleman's Flying Club. It's very proper. I know you have plenty of gold to pay for it. And I'm just taking that in advance, and that's why you're not dropping any. In case anybody's wondering about what's behind that, that will be later with the turrets. Oh, I just want to shoot him to his face, but no. Okay, they're all gone. Well, that was a slight, unexpected, discovery we had there.
Well,
kind of.
Well, that is a really funny thing, and yeah.
Yeah, please remember
have plenty of fun with it.
Yeah, please remember this is an unreleased beta. Some features may wind up staying or not, or have glitches involved. But I have a feeling that one's going to make it in the final version.
I feel it. I kind of want to keep that.
Yeah. So
I definitely want the explosive arrows.
oh,
I definitely want the explosive arrows.
and the uppercut actually working on the arrows. You know, I'm gonna have to go into survival for a moment just to see if I can enchant that onto a bow normally or not.
Wait, try hitting yourself with the arrow.
You got an interesting point. Do I fly? Now I'm in creative, but because I'm grounded, I should still fly. Just firing straight up. Come on, hit me, arrow. It'll take a little while to land. Oh wait. Darn curvature of the earth. I blame gravity.
Why don't you just fire lamely up?
Oh, you mean like quickly? Okay. Doesn't seem to affect players because I just shot myself in the face.
I guess this is a server side thing that doesn't work on players. Interesting.
Not sure if that's a good or a bad thing.
Wait, try hitting yourself with the explosive arrow.
Okay, that would definitely work because it generates an explosion around the target hit as long as it hits a living target, right? Okay, that definitely hit me.
And I feel like that it would definitely work in melee combat if the arrows aren't working on you in
yeah, I definitely
enchantment.
spread shot myself, and it totally did not cause any explosion. So, those particular arrows may have technical difficulties.
Moving on.
Well, I'll test the uppercut on a survival scenario later in terms of being able to actually enchant a bow with it. But yeah, the next one is Maniac.
This adds 5 damage to the weapon per level. Just like Shuriken, and adds 5 abstract damage to the weapon, making it better.
And as we were saying before, a lot of the following enchantments also work better on turrets.
This is once again better used on a turret.
Yes. Now, on a melee weapon, it also allows you to swing extra quickly, right?
Yes, because you become a maniac.
Exactly. You're like, I'm just destroying all of you. Yes. Okay, something like
savage.
that. Yes, you're a total savage whenever you grab this. And the name of the next one is also along that theme because it's Ferocity.
Adds 2.5 damage to the weapon per level. Once again, better used on turrets.
And as with his other enchantments, they do not contradict any kind of damage dealing, so they keep stacking on a sword.
Yeah.
You know, if you would be able to do this even in survival, you wouldn't need to be in creative. It will, in fact, have everything on there that I have on this sword.
And just a little clear up, Unstability has the same rarity as Knockback, and same enchantability as Knockback. Maniac has the same enchantability as Thorns, although the levels required are less.
And
so
it's
you
not on
can
armor,
have Thorns
so you know.
3. So you can have Maniac 3 on a lower level than Thorns 3, so you don't need a golden chestplate.
Mm-hmm.
And Ferocity has the same enchantability as Sharpness.
Okay. So that one you'll probably find very frequently. Now the last one is Durability. And
once again, it's better used on...
Yeah, it's better used on a turret as an upgrade, but on a weapon, it basically acts just like additional form of unbreaking, so basically consider this as an unbreaking 5 sword.
Yeah. Adds extra unbreaking to the sword, and well, that's about it for all the treatments. But now we shall move on to the things that we've been describing as